They laughed at you when you were at your lowest, unaware that broken fragments in the hands of God transform into a masterpiece that strikes fear into the enemy. Chosen one, listen attentively. They ridiculed you, mocked your dreams, labeled you a fool, and asserted you'd never find love. They looked at you and perceived weakness, someone they could easily walk over, believing you would never rise again. They cast you aside, humiliating you and leaving you in the ruins, thinking your story had concluded. They wielded words like weapons, designed to shatter your spirit and crush your hope. They thought they were justified, after all. Who could truly love someone like you? That's what they whispered in your absence. They derided you as naive, foolish, blind, and then turned their backs, leaving you to collect the shattered pieces of your heart alone. But what they didn't realize is that the very ashes they left you in became the fertile ground where God initiated His grandest work. What they attempted to destroy, He rebuilt into something stronger. What they perceived as the finale of your narrative was merely the prologue. They mocked you because they couldn't see what heaven had already recognized. They saw the scars, but failed to notice the crown. They saw rejection, but overlooked the divine protection surrounding you. They spotted someone they could tear down, not realizing that being chosen equates to being unbreakable. And thank you, yes, you, the chosen one. Your presence and extraordinary gifts fuel this divine mission. And if you're prepared to rise from the ruins, claim your God-approved love, and step into your destiny, smash that like button, join the Chosen One's sanctuary, and drop 77 in the comments. Together, let's embark on this journey now. Chosen One, let me remind you of something vital. You are God's chosen, and His eyes have been upon you every step of the way. Every tear you shed, He collected. Every insult you faced, He noted. Every time they doubted you, God smiled, knowing what lay ahead. You see, being chosen is not merely a title, it's a calling, a light that shines so brightly it overwhelms your enemies. It's a power so profound it stirs unrest within them, even when they have convinced themselves you're defeated. You were never defeated, you were being prepared. They thought their rejection would bury you, but rejection was God's redirection. Their insults were tools He used to refine you. The loneliness you felt wasn't abandonment, it was God setting you apart for something far greater. They assumed you would remain down. But what they didn't grasp is that being chosen means that every time you fall, heaven itself pulls you back up. Every time they laughed, heaven was documenting your victory. Every time they called you foolish, God was orchestrating the moment for them to witness you step into the love story He has been preparing for you. Chosen. 1. The enemy is terrified of you. They mocked you because they feared what you could evolve into. They attempted to extinguish your hope because hope poses a substantial threat to them. They sought to convince you of their lies, that you'd never find love, that you weren't good enough, that you were unworthy. But here's a truth they will never confess. The only reason they hurled stones at you is that they couldn't bear to behold the light shining within you. The only reason they left you in ruins is that they realized if you ever uncovered your worth, their lies would shatter. And now, you are poised to enter a love so powerful that it will silence every doubter and invalidate every word spoken against you. Chosen One. Your true love is en route. God has sanctioned it. This isn't just a love story, it's a divine move that no one, not even your enemies, can thwart. The love they claimed was non-existent, the love they said you'd never have, is already inscribed in heaven, sealed with God's approval, and is on its way to you. They believed their rejection would determine your story, but God had already written the ending. And spoiler alert, your ending is victory. The enemy presumed they had you defeated, but they overlooked one critical fact. God always has the final word. This is your moment to rise, to embrace the love that was always meant for you. They laughed, but now they will watch. They doubted, but now they will see. Because being chosen is not merely about survival. It's about walking in glory that haunts those who wished to destroy you. Now, let's delve into this step by step, and allow me to assure you, if you are indeed a chosen one, you'll feel an undeniable urge to remain until the end. This message is crafted for you, and each word will resonate deeply within your spirit. Stay with me. You don't want to miss this. Number 1, they mocked you, but heaven was watching. True love does not arrive according to your timeline, but according to God's. When it does arrive, it silences every lie they've ever uttered against you. They mocked you, rolling their eyes when you dared to dream of true love. They branded you foolish for holding on to hope, for believing someone out there was meant for you. How could someone like you ever deserve that kind of love? They sneered, and their whispers dripped with venom, spreading doubt like poison. You heard them, didn't you? The subtle jabs, the cruel comments disguised as jokes, the pity in their eyes, as if your dreams were merely delusions. They thought they had you all figured out. Broken, naive, a fool awaiting something that would never come. But let me tell you something, chosen one. Heaven has been watching all along. While they mocked, heaven kept score. While they hurled insults and turned their backs, God's plan for your life was unfurling behind the scenes. What they never realized, what they failed to understand, is that their opinions do not influence divine timing. Their words hold no weight in heaven. The rejection, the betrayal, the cold laughter, they thought it would define you, but all it did was refine you. I understand the questions that resonate in your heart because they've echoed in mine too. Why would they treat me this way? Am I truly unworthy? Was I really so foolish to believe that love could find me? These questions weigh heavily when the world seems to be shouting answers meant to tear you down. But hear this. You are not what they claim you to be. You are chosen. You are covered. You are divinely protected. And being chosen isn't merely a blessing. It's a fire that blazes brighter due to the very storms meant to extinguish it. You see, their laughter was not only cruelty, it was fear. The enemy consistently mocks what he cannot destroy. They beheld your faith, your hope, and your resilience, and it rattled them. They saw a light within you that they couldn't comprehend, so they attempted to snuff it out. That's how it unfolds. People ridicule what they lack the courage to believe in themselves. But what they didn't comprehend is that being chosen comes with a protection they can never touch. While they were laughing, heaven was fighting for you. While they rejected you, God was arranging the stage for your elevation. Every time they whispered behind your back, heaven heard it. Every instance they doubted you, God's angels prepared a table for you right in their presence. Remember this. Their rejection was never a reflection of your worth. It was an indication of God's redirection. They weren't meant to remain in your story, chosen one. Their laughter and mockery were mere background noise, distractions intended to rattle you. But you stood tall. You didn't give up. And now, heaven is poised to reveal exactly what takes place when a chosen one refuses to succumb to the lies of the enemy. Picture this. A potter takes clay, presses it, crushes it, and spins it until it appears to be nothing more than a shapeless mess. That's how they left you, shapeless, crushed, mocked. But what they didn't realize is that you were in the hands of the master potter. He transforms broken clay into works of art. Their laughter was the fire, but you were the gold being refined amidst the blaze, and now you radiate so brightly it blinds them. Let them laugh. Let them roll their eyes. Let them underestimate you. The very love they claimed you'd never find is on its way, sealed and sanctioned by God Himself. This isn't simply a human love story, it's divine. It's the type of love that renders their words to ashes, and when it arrives, they will see what heaven has always known, that you were always worthy, always enough, always destined for something extraordinary, chosen one. Never forget this. When heaven decrees, the world's rejection holds no significance. God's plan flows like a river, navigating around obstacles, carving its path through stone, and carrying you precisely where you need to be. No laughter, no rejection, no schemes of the enemy can thwart what God has inscribed for you. The love approaching your life will not only heal you, but will also compel the doubters to question everything they ever claimed. And when they witness you rise, they will realize they weren't laughing at you. They were laughing at a plan they couldn't begin to comprehend. The greatest blunder of the enemy was underestimating the power of being chosen. They thought your silence indicated defeat. They assumed your patience revealed weakness. Yet, they didn't understand that during every moment of waiting, God was working. And now, the moment has arrived. True love is on its way, and it will be everything they said you'd never possess, and more. Chosen one, you've already triumphed. Stay with me because the best is yet to come. Number 2. Rejection was God's redirection. Rejection does not signal the end. It indicates that God is steering you to your rightful destination. They abandoned you, leaving you in ruins, didn't they? They laughed as you stumbled and your heart shattered into pieces. Perhaps they even relished seeing you that way. You offered your heart, giving your all, and yet they chose to walk away, often with smug satisfaction. You were led to believe that your worth was non-existent, that you were unlovable and disposable. Their actions echoed loud and clear, "You'll never be enough." Rejection has a way of etching itself into your heart, whispering insidious lies to you in the quiet moments. You might find yourself wondering, maybe they were right. Perhaps there's something inherently wrong with me. Those thoughts creep in, don't they? They twist and distort your dreams, your faith, your very sense of value. They linger like dark shadows, threatening to extinguish the flickering light of hope inside you. But hear me, chosen one. Rejection was never the conclusion. It was the divine rerouting of your journey. They may have left your world in disarray, but what they failed to see is that God is an expert at reconstructing lives from the ashes. Every rejection, every door that was slammed shut, every tear that fell was a part of a grander tapestry being woven in your life. They thought they had crushed your spirit, but God used the very weight of their rejection to fortify you, prepare you, and guide you toward a love that surpasses your wildest dreams. They laughed at your heartbreak, mocked your vulnerability, your hope, your faith in love. They deemed you foolish for believing in such things. But what they didn't realize is that your heartbreak was not the conclusion. It was the pivotal twist in your narrative. They assumed they had the final say, but God was just beginning His work. Rejection wasn't punishment, it was protection. God wasn't allowing you to settle for anything less than you truly deserve. He wasn't permitting you to build your life around people or situations that were meant to be fleeting. Each no you encountered was not a failure. It wasn't a testament to your inadequacy. It was God clearing the way for the ultimate yes that will transform everything. If you had lingered in the spaces where you faced rejection, you would have missed the greater blessing that awaited you. Think of rejection as being rerouted on a journey. It's frustrating, isn't it? It can leave you feeling lost, bewildered, even angry. But the truth is, the path you were traveling led to a dead end. God's redirection is taking you to a better road, one that leads to love, healing, and purpose. Rejection might seem like abandonment, but chosen one, it's actually alignment. God is aligning every facet of your existence with His divine blueprint. What they dismissed, God is preparing to restore tenfold. The individuals who undervalued you, who treated you as an option, will one day realize they spurned something priceless. They turned away from you without recognizing that you were chosen by God Himself. And remember, when God chooses you, no amount of rejection can nullify your destiny. The people who walked away from you were never equipped to handle the enormity of who you are destined to become. Their rejection does not define your worth. It reveals their own limitations. You were never meant to shrink yourself to fit into their limited perceptions. Their departure from your life was God's way of removing distractions and clearing your space for the love He has prepared for you. You were not discarded. You were set apart. And here's the truth that will silence every falsehood they hurled at you. The love that is on its way will restore everything they sought to take from you. God doesn't just fix, He redeems. He reshapes the moments that broke you and builds them into monuments of His glory. The very love they claimed you would never encounter is already on its way, and it's not just any love. It's a divine appointment. This is the love that will make you look back on every rejection with gratitude for the closed doors that were never meant for you. Chosen one. The rejections you faced were never designed to confine you. They were meant to refine you. You are stronger now, having learned who you genuinely are, and more importantly, whose you are. You belong to God, and His plans for you are unstoppable. The people who dismissed you thought they could break you, but they merely propelled you toward your destiny. What they left in ruins, God is transforming into glory. What they rejected, God will use as the cornerstone for something extraordinary. And the love that they stated you wouldn't find has already been approved by heaven and is en route to you. Rejection is not the finale of your story. It's the prologue to a far better one. Stay with me, chosen one. The next chapter is about to reveal itself, and it will prove every skeptic wrong. Now, let's talk about this transformation from trash to treasure. They overlooked your worth. What they deemed worthless, God calls chosen. What they discarded, He is turning into something priceless. They treated you as if you were nothing, as if your heart and dreams were inconsequential. They utilized you when it served their purpose and cast you aside as if you were yesterday's refuse. To them, you were merely an option, someone easy to replace. How could they possibly comprehend the impact of their actions? The truth is, they never paused to see the treasure you hold within. If anyone treated you as replaceable, it can leave deep emotional scars, leading you to query your worth. Am I truly worthless? Is there something about me that makes it so easy for people to disregard me? Those questions can fester within your heart if you allow them to grow, breeding self-doubt and skepticism toward God's promises. But let's halt those thoughts, chosen one, because none of those lies reflect the truth. They couldn't recognize your worth because they lacked the capacity to do so. Individuals who cannot see their own value will never appreciate yours. They were blind to the treasure you carry because they were too consumed by their own emptiness. And here's a crucial insight. The way others treat you speaks more about them than it does about you. Their inability to see your value doesn't diminish who you are. It merely reveals their own limitations. Remember, God does not create trash. The very heart they overlooked, the very soul they dismissed, was meticulously crafted by the Creator of the universe. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, chosen by God for a purpose far greater than their narrow vision could ever comprehend. They may have dismissed you, but heaven has always known you as a masterpiece. The fascinating thing about God's masterpieces is that He delights in taking what others view as worthless and transforming it into something magnificent that even your adversaries cannot help but admire. They treated you as if you were a broken piece of pottery, cracked and seemingly useless. But let me remind you, broken pottery in God's hands can become more stunning than it ever was before. In Japanese culture, there is an art form called kintsugi, where damaged pottery is mended with gold, showcasing the imperfections as part of its beauty. The final result is a piece that is even more valuable than it was before the breakage. That's exactly what God is doing in your life. He is using the cracks and fissures to create something more beautiful, woven with His love and purpose. What they overlooked, God is now lifting up. You are not defined by how they treated you, nor by their rejection. Their cruelty and failure to recognize your worth do not diminish you. What they couldn't see has always been known by God, and now He is set to reveal it to the world. He's transforming the areas where you felt discarded into milestones where you will shine the brightest. What they abandoned, God is elevating. What they spurned will become the very foundation for your extraordinary future. And here's the most amazing part. The love that is making its way to you will illuminate your worth in ways you've yet to imagine. This is no ordinary love. It is the type of love that God meticulously prepared for you from the beginning. This love will value and cherish you, seeing you through the lens of heaven, loving you as God intended for you to be loved. Chosen one, do not allow their rejection or their treatment of you to cloud your sense of self-worth. You are not worthless. You were never trash. You are a treasure waiting to be unveiled. The fact that they couldn't see your worth doesn't negate it. It simply means they weren't worthy of it. God has been keeping you concealed, refining and equipping you for the love and purpose that they would never have appreciated. What they discarded is swiftly being lifted by God. Remember, you are not defined by those who failed to see your value. You are defined by the Creator, the one who has been watching over you, the one who is now stepping in to demonstrate to the world just how invaluable you are. When the love intended for you arrives, it will silence every lie, every doubt, and every mockery. You are not what they claimed you to be. You are chosen, you are loved, you are treasure. So, let them think they emerged victorious. Let them believe they were justified in how they treated you. Because when God reveals what He has been preparing, they'll understand that they didn't discard trash. They walked away from treasure. And chosen one, that treasure is about to shine so brilliantly that it will leave them in awe. Now stay close, your moment is on the horizon. And remember, if this resonates with you, join Chosen One's sanctuary. Let's walk this journey together. You simply let go and move forward. They scoffed at your patience, at your faith, at your unwavering commitment to what you knew you deserved. To them, you were just a dreamer, lost in a fantasy. They believed themselves to be so wise, treating love with a shallow understanding that could never grasp the divine purpose that God has intricately crafted for you. But here's the truth. The real fool was never you. It was them. The joke's on them now because God has been preparing something far beyond their comprehension, something extraordinary for you. What they mocked, your patience, your faith, your trust in divine timing, is about to manifest into your greatest triumph. You were not foolish for waiting. You were wise enough to hold out for what God has ordained for you, knowing that rushing into anything less would only lead to heartache. And now, chosen one, the love that is coming your way is poised to silence every skeptic. They believed they were so clever, so sophisticated in their logic, yet they failed to comprehend that God's wisdom surpasses all human understanding. While they mocked your faith, heaven was diligently working behind the scenes. As they chased fleeting relationships and meaningless connections, you were nurturing something profound. Your faith in God's timing. and that trust is on the verge of bearing rich fruit. Reflect on how often society celebrates quick fixes and shortcuts. They labeled you a fool for not conforming to their path. But you were never meant to follow their way. You've always been set apart. The love about to enter your life is more than just a relationship. It's a divine promise. It will leave those who doubted you utterly stunned and speechless. It will stand as solid proof that waiting on God is never for naught. Victory is yours, chosen one, and the beauty lies in the fact that it's unfolding right before the very people who said it would never happen. They underestimated you, your patience, your strength, and your steadfast faith. They thought their doubt could dictate your destiny, but the love that is on its way is destined to prove them all wrong. God's timing is impeccable, and His plans for you are unshakable. Your patience was not in vain. It was divinely orchestrated, serving as the key that unlocks this moment, the foundation upon which God is building something immovable. What awaits you is infinitely more than you ever imagined, beyond their wildest expectations, simply because you chose to trust God when it made no sense to anyone else. Let them revel in their arrogance. Your faith has already outsmarted them all. Stay with me, chosen one, because the best is yet to come. Number 5. The ruins became your revitalization. The very ruins they thought would bury you became the platform for God's miracles to come alive. Take a moment to look back, chosen one. Do you recall the devastation they left in their wake? The words they spoke cut deep. The rejection pierced your soul, and the betrayal left you breathless. They abandoned you, leaving you in shambles, and walked away without a second thought. To them, you were merely a passing memory, a joke, someone they believed had been defeated entirely. But what they couldn't realize is that the ruins they left behind became sacred ground for a miracle. The very space where they abandoned you became the altar where God began His greatest work. Every tear you shed, every broken piece of your heart, and every shattered fragment of your dream became the building blocks for something extraordinary. They thought they had obliterated you, but in God's hands, the ruins of your life became the foundation for a masterpiece. Can you see it now? The brokenness they left you with wasn't your end. It was the genesis of your revival. The heartbreak wasn't your demise. It was the soil from which your spirit began to flourish. The enemy wished for those ruins to serve as your prison, yet God has transformed them into a platform for greatness. They believed the chaos they unleashed would silence you, but God turned that chaos into order, into beauty, into glory. What was designed to destroy you has become the very thing God is using to elevate you. Chosen one, listen closely. There lies immense power within the ruins. The areas where you were torn apart are the very foundations upon which God builds you up. They saw rubble, God saw restoration. They perceived devastation. God envisioned destiny. And now you stand, stronger, brighter, and more resilient than ever. Those who walked away didn't merely leave you in ruins. They left you in the hands of the master builder. And trust me, no one crafts something magnificent like God does. Let them watch in disbelief as they witness what God has done in your life. Let them marvel at how someone they thought was irreparably broken can shine so brilliantly. They'll never grasp that the very rejection and heartbreak they caused were tools in God's hands, shaping you into who you were always meant to be. See, the plans of the enemy to shatter you were never a match for God's plans to bless you. Your broken heart served as the altar where God created something anew, something extraordinarily beautiful. Your tears have watered the seeds of greatness that are now blooming into a harvest so abundant, it will leave your adversaries speechless. The ruins they believed would crush you have become your revival. The pain they inflicted has morphed into your power, and the love they claimed you'd never find is on its way, greater than anything you have ever envisioned. Chosen one, let me be clear. The remnants they left behind were never meant to signal your end. Rather, they mark the beginning of a testimony bound to inspire others. What was intended to obliterate you has become the bedrock of your greatest victory. You are not defined by the ruins they created. You are defined by the resurrection God has orchestrated within you. Keep moving forward. Keep trusting. The ruins are in the past. Your destiny lies ahead. God is transforming every broken piece into a glorious masterpiece. And soon, the love and joy He sends your way will complete the narrative. This is your revival, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can thwart what God is constructing within you. Stay with me, chosen one, because the best is still to come. Number 6, they laughed, but you will have the final word. Let them snicker now, for every sneer will ultimately serve to magnify God's glory. When your love story unfolds, their derision will dissolve into silence, and their doubts will shift into envy. Oh, how they laughed! They mocked your faith, your dreams, your unyielding hope. To them, you were simply a joke, a fool clutching onto the improbable, a dreamer anticipating something they swore would never arrive. They scoffed when you spoke of true love, rolled their eyes at mentions of God's timing, and smirked as if they had all the answers. Their words cut deep, didn't they? But chosen one, hear me clearly. Let them laugh. Let their words resonate, because every derisive comment they've made is about to crumble beneath the weight of God's vindication. The love He is sending into your life will put them in their place in ways their mockery could never have prepared them for. They belittled you because they couldn't comprehend what heaven was orchestrating behind the scenes. To them, your waiting seemed like wasting time, but to God, it was pure preparation. They regarded your faith as foolishness, yet in heaven, it stood as a testament to your strength. They believed their laughter would shatter you. But chosen one, know this: the power of God's promise eclipses the noise of their mockery. When your love story comes to fruition, when the divine plan is fully revealed, they will realize they weren't laughing at you. They were deriding the masterpiece God was carefully crafting all along. The enemy mocks what he fears most. That's why their sneering carried such bitterness. They ridiculed you because they couldn't understand you. People naturally fear what they fail to grasp. Your depth of faith and the divine favor upon your life was far beyond their understanding, so they resorted to laughter. However, what they failed to comprehend is this: God always reserves the last laugh. Your love story will serve as such a powerful testimony that it will compel your adversaries to question their own lives. The very ones who deemed you foolish for waiting, hoping, and trusting will soon gaze at you in awe, wondering how they ever doubted your strength. The love that God is preparing for you isn't merely an answer to your prayers. It's a declaration to the world. It will illustrate that God's timing is flawless, that His promises are unbreakable, and that nothing and no one can impede His ordained path. So let them laugh. Let their jeers fill the air, for it is only temporary. What God is about to achieve in your life will not just silence their laughter. It will convert it into regret. Regret for doubting you. Regret for failing to see the divine light within you. And regret for underestimating the power of the one who has chosen you. You, chosen one, need not defend yourself. You have no obligation to argue, explain, or prove your value to anyone. God Himself will vindicate you. When your love story unfolds, it will become clear to everyone, bearing witness that this was not your doing. It was entirely His. That kind of victory resonates louder than any words could ever express. So let them laugh for now. Let them roll their eyes and shake their heads. Because when the moment arrives, and it is coming soon, their laughter will cease, their disbelief will transmute into awe, and their sneers will be stifled by the undeniable evidence of God's glory in your life. God always holds the final word, and chosen one, His word over your life is victory. Your love story is being penned by the Creator of the universe, and no amount of laughter or mockery will ever thwart His plans. Mockery may have tried to erase your spirit. They laughed, but you will rise. They doubted, but you will shine. And in the end, they will see what heaven has known all along: you were chosen. God always delivers on His promises. Number 7, your pain was the price for purpose. Every tear was a seed, every heartbreak was a lesson. Chosen one, let's not sugarcoat it. The pain you endured was real. It wasn't merely a passing ache or a fleeting wound. It was agony that gripped your heart and left you breathless. You cried out in the stillness, "Why me, God? Why must I feel this deeply, break this often, and lose this profoundly?" The world told you to get over it, to move on, to stop being so sensitive. But what they failed to see is that your pain wasn't pointless. It was the price of a profound purpose. Every tear you shed was a seed planted in the soil of your destiny. Every heartbreak, every rejection, every betrayal or abandonment was part of a greater plan. They thought they were breaking you, but God was using those very moments to build something within you that can never be taken away. The enemy sought to use your pain to destroy you, but God used it to prepare you. Your tears were not wasted. They watered the garden of your purpose. And let's be honest, there were moments when it felt like too much, like the weight of it all might crush you. You questioned if God even saw your struggle, if He heard your prayers, if He cared about the love you longed for. But what you didn't know then, and what I'm here to remind you now, is that God was never absent in your pain. He was there, collecting every tear, turning every heartbreak into wisdom, and molding your broken heart into a vessel strong enough to carry the love He's about to send your way. You see, chosen one, God doesn't waste pain. He doesn't let you walk through the fire for nothing. He allows it to refine you, to burn away the doubts and fears that would hold you back from stepping fully into your destiny. That ache you felt was teaching you patience, perseverance, and faith. That heartbreak was showing you how to recognize what is real and what is counterfeit. The love you prayed for couldn't arrive until the person you were destined to be was fully prepared to receive it. And now, here you are, stronger, wiser, radiant. The love story God is crafting for you will make every tear, every lonely night, and every heartbreak worth it when it arrives. Chosen one. It will be a love so pure, so divinely orchestrated, that you will look back and say, "Now I understand. Now I see why it had to be this way." Your pain wasn't wasted. It was an investment in the masterpiece God is unveiling. Remember this: your pain had a purpose, and that purpose is your elevation. God is not just giving you a love story. He's gifting you a testimony that will inspire others. The pain was worth the purpose, and the purpose will be worth the wait. Keep walking, chosen one, for you are on the brink of something extraordinary. Number 8, God's approval outweighs their rejection. Their rejection means nothing when heaven has already stamped approved on your love story. Chosen one, let's be clear. Their rejection does not define you. It never did, and it never will. The people who walked away, who dismissed your worth and cast doubt on your dreams, have no power over what God has already set in motion for you. Their no is irrelevant when heaven has already declared yes. Their rejection was nothing more than a detour, a redirection, because God's plan for you cannot be stopped by human opinion. While they mocked and doubted you, heaven was moving. They couldn't see the divine stamp that marked your life, but it was there all along, approved by the Creator of the universe. approved by the one who holds your future in his hands, and approved by the God who doesn't change his mind or reverse his promises. What God has approved, no man can deny, no enemy can destroy, and no rejection can cancel. You see, divine favor isn't something the world can comprehend. When people see you rising, when they witness you walking into the love story God has written for you, they'll wonder how it's even possible. They will question how someone they overlooked or underestimated could receive something so extraordinary. But chosen one, that's the beauty of God's approval. It doesn't make sense to the world. His favor doesn't follow their rules. It's not earned by their standards, nor can it be revoked by their opinions. What God approves is unshakable, unstoppable, undeniable. The love He is sending your way isn't the result of human effort or manipulation. It's a divine orchestration. It's not something you chased or begged for. It's something God has been preparing for you long before the rejection, long before the heartbreak. He saw the end from the beginning and knew that every tear, every closed door, and every no would only bring you closer to His perfect yes. Let this sink in. The same God who created the stars, who commands the oceans, who holds the universe in His hands, looks at your love story and says, "It is good, it is approved, it is sealed." And when God seals something, no force on earth or in hell can unseal it. Chosen one, your true love is not coming by chance or luck. It's not the result of your striving or desperation. It's coming because God Himself has written it into your destiny, a love so profound, so pure, that it will silence every doubt and prove every naysayer wrong. The rejection you endured will pale in comparison to the glory that lies ahead. So, hold your head high. Their rejection holds no power over you because heaven's approval outweighs it all. Trust in the one who holds your story and rest in the assurance that your love is not only coming, it's divinely guaranteed. Number 9. The enemy's lies are being exposed. The enemy whispered lies that you'd always be alone, that no one could love you. Chosen one, let's call it what it is. The enemy tried to break you. Those lies were meant to make you question everything about yourself. He told you that you were unworthy, unlovable, destined to walk through life in solitude. These lies weren't just words, they were weapons aimed at your spirit. The enemy saw the light within you, the favor on your life, and he was fearful of what would happen if you ever uncovered the truth. So he lied. He whispered that love wasn't meant for you, that no one would ever choose you, making you feel as though your heart, your soul, your very existence were burdens instead of blessings. But here's the thing about lies: they cannot withstand the truth. The truth has a way of rising, and chosen one, that's precisely what's happening now. Every lie the enemy tried to plant in your mind is being exposed for what it is: fear. Fear of the destiny God has written for you. Fear of the love that's about to come into your life. Fear of the light in you that the enemy knows he cannot extinguish. The enemy's greatest weapon is deception, and his greatest fear is a chosen one who sees through it. The truth is that you were never unlovable. You were never alone. You were never forgotten. God's eyes have been on you every step of the way, and His love for you is unshakable. The enemy wanted you to believe his lies because he knew the power of the blessing God has for you. He saw what you couldn't yet see, that your love story was already approved, already written, already sealed by heaven. Chosen one, the lies are crumbling. The enemy told you that no one could love you, but God says you are fearfully and wonderfully made, worthy of a love so profound that it reflects His own heart. The enemy tried to convince you that you'd always be alone, but God has been preparing a divine connection that will not only heal you but elevate you. The enemy said you were forgotten, but heaven's angels have been working tirelessly on your behalf. moving pieces into place to fulfill God's promise to you. Victory is yours, and the truth will silence every lie. The love that's coming into your life will be living proof that the enemy's whispers were nothing but fear, masquerading as fact. Every doubt he planted will wither under the light of God's truth. Every time he said you'd never find love, heaven was laughing because your love story was already in progress. God's truth is louder than the enemy's lies. It drowns out the noise, exposes the deception, and sets you free. Chosen one, let go of the lies. They hold no power here. Trust in the truth of who you are and in the love God has prepared for you. The enemy thought he could break you, but he underestimated the power of God's truth. You are chosen, loved, and victorious, and nothing can change that. Number 10, the wait was a weapon. Your waiting wasn't passive, it was active warfare. Chosen. 1. Let me tell you something. The enemy doesn't want you to realize that your waiting was never wasted. Every moment you held on, every time you resisted the urge to settle, every prayer you whispered in the quiet of your heart, those weren't moments of inactivity, they were power. The world might have mocked you, calling your patience foolish, but what they didn't see is that your waiting was a weapon. A warfare against every lie, every scheme, and every tactic the enemy used to try to derail you. The enemy thought your waiting would wear you down. He thought that the silence, the loneliness, and the unanswered prayers would make you give up, lose faith, and settle for less than what God promised you. But, chosen one, what the enemy didn't understand is that your patience wasn't weakness. It was strength. Every time you chose to trust God instead of succumbing to fear, every time you stood firm when doubt crept in, you were building an unstoppable foundation. Fighting through the wait was not an exercise in idleness. It was a demonstration of steadfast faith. Let's be real, it wasn't an easy journey. There were times when the burden of yearning felt impossibly heavy. Moments when you questioned if it was worth it all. Yet, even in those darker times when the enemy whispered, "Just give up," you chose to hold on. You believed that God's purpose for your life was worth every second of the wait, and that decision became your weapon. Each moment you clung to hope, you weakened the enemy's grip, proving that your faith triumphs over his deceit. Here's the truth. Waiting is not a passive experience. It's not just idle moments lost in wishful thinking. Waiting is a proactive alignment with God's divine timing. It means choosing to walk on His path even when the journey seems slower than you'd prefer. It's trusting that He is orchestrating events behind the scenes, weaving together a narrative so splendid that it could only originate from Him. The enemy misjudged the power of your patience. He failed to comprehend that while you were waiting, God was instilling something unshakable within you, equipping you to be unstoppable at just the right moment. And now, chosen one, the wait has come to a close. The season of patience is transitioning into a season of fulfillment. The love you've prayed for, the joy you've yearned for, and the promises you've held dear, they are here. What the enemy believed would cripple you has instead molded you. What the world deemed foolishness, heaven recognizes as faith. The rewards of your waiting are now manifesting in your life, divinely crafted and endorsed by God. This love, this blessing, this victorious chapter, it is not solely for you. It stands as a testament to the potency of patience. It's a declaration that placing one's trust in God is never in vain. So, stand tall, chosen one. The weight you carried became your strength and now serves as your testimony. The time has arrived, and the reward is upon you. You not only survived the waiting, you thrived through it. And now, you are entering into the promise that has always been intended for you. Regarding the negative words thrown your way, they hold no power over the future that awaits you. Let's face it, there has been no shortage of negativity. Those unkind words were uttered with pointed tongues, casting doubt on your dreams and belittling your faith. They accused you of chasing after illusions and clinging to futile hopes, aiming to pierce your confidence and shatter your spirit. They wished for you to adopt their narrative, to buckle under the weight of their cynicism, and release the promises that you steadfastly held on to. But the truth they failed to grasp is that their words are powerless in the face of God's plan. Every harsh comment, every mocking laughter, every derisive whisper, they lack strength because the one who authors your life has already proclaimed his will, and his decree is unyielding. His word is yes and amen. It has already delineated victory over your life and your love story. While they busied themselves attempting to drag you down, heaven was lifting you higher. Each insult they hurled your way met with God's shielding presence. Each time they declared, "It will never happen," heaven responded, "It is already accomplished." The perspectives of people carry no weight against a life blessed with divine favor, and your life, chosen one, has been marked. The plans God has laid out for you are indomitable, untouchable, and undeniable, regardless of what anyone may say. The enemy loves to manipulate words as weapons, hoping to convince you that the negativity surrounding you is truth. He desires for you to replay their hurtful remarks in your mind, allowing them to take root and blossom into self-doubt and despair. But hear me when I say, the enemy does not want you to know that their words are mere noise, nothing but echoes with no power to alter what God has ordained. What awaits you, this love, this blessing, this season of joy, is grander than their words, larger than their doubts, and far beyond their rejection. They might have believed they were scripting your story when they tried to define you through their negativity. However, they are soon to learn that God holds the pen of your tale. His narrative excludes their fabrications. Let them talk, chosen one. Let them utter whatever they want, for it won't stand in the way of what is destined for you. In fact, their negativity will only enhance the sweetness of your victory. When the love God's prepared for you arrives, it will render every doubter mute. Those who once declared you would never achieve this will be left speechless as you step into the blessings they said were unattainable. So, lift your chin high. There's no need to defend yourself against their remarks, because God is your protector. What's ahead is magnificent, so divine that it will speak volumes in its presence. Their words cannot hinder what God has blessed. Now, chosen one, anticipate a divine union that will silence every doubter. The love you've longed for, prayed for, and courageously awaited is finally here. This is not just a mere love. It's an eternal masterpiece meticulously designed by the hands of the Creator. This love is extraordinary, unshakable, and profoundly beautiful, so radiant that it will leave all skeptics in awe and silence. They once claimed it was unattainable, said your hopes were impractical and your faith had been misplaced. They ridiculed your dreams and chuckled at your expectations. Yet, what they didn't recognize is that this is not just about your aspirations. It is the fulfillment of God's promise. And when God pledges something, He will undoubtedly bring it to fruition. Every whisper of doubt, every scornful snicker, every proclamation that you will never have what you seek will be hushed in the presence of this love now unfolding in your life. This is not merely a loving narrative. It is a living testament to God's fidelity, proof that His timeline is flawless, and that no earthly hurdle can obstruct what He has destined. Chosen one, this love is not here to merely confer joy upon you. It aims to finalize the good work that God has been undertaking within you all along. It's the answer to every tear you've shed, every prayer uttered, and every promise He whispered into your heart. It transcends beyond your own joy and healing. It's about the hope it will ignite in others. The world is observing, and they will witness in your journey the undeniable touch of God. The doubters, the skeptics, the ones who once thought your faith misplaced, will have no choice but to recognize that such love could have originated only from heaven. What they labeled as foolishness, God has reaped as glorious. This divine union will mend the deepest wounds within you and will restore every shattered piece, affirming that God never forsakes His chosen ones. Beyond that, it will inspire, kindling hope in those who have given up on their own dreams. Your story will resonate, affecting hearts and lives in ways you may never fully comprehend. Embrace this, chosen one. Your time is at hand. The love entering your life signifies not just the fulfillment of your waiting, but the initiation of a new chapter filled with joy, purpose, and divine completion. This love will astound the world and render the doubters speechless. You have been patient, you have persevered, and now you are positioned to receive the blessings that were always intended for you. Your true love is here. This is a love story penned in the skies, sealed by God, and unveiled for all to witness. Let the doubters observe, let the skeptics ponder. Let the world stand misty-eyed because what God has joined together, nothing can sever apart. This is your divine union, and it is radiant, chosen one. What they once presumed would defeat you has only fortified your spirit. Every tear, every rejection, every moment of waiting has been crafting you for this glorious triumph. Your true love is not merely a gift, it is living proof of God's steadfastness and favor over your life. This love stands as a testament to His promises and a reflection of His glory, a reward for your unwavering faith. Step boldly into this new season, chosen one, for your true love is here, and heaven has given it the green light. So, engage with Chosen One's sanctuary. Join us, share your thoughts, and embrace this powerful message. Your victory is at hand.